let's address goals for 2024, my favorite part. So my first goal is to double my subscriber count. I realized that my desire to have like the ability to monetize, right, comes from having a supportive community that's invested, that's involved. And I should focus on doing things that bring people in, that make them want to stay, that show people what I am, and focus on the people rather than the video, right? And I do that through the video. So I do that through creating content that people want and things like that. But focusing on the subscribers, like when I'm able to bring people in through videos, it makes me proud. So that's the part that I'm going to focus on, because I'm here for you. And yeah, and a part for me too. And I enjoy it so much. But at the same time, I'm here for you. You push me to do the things that I enjoy. So thank you for being here. And I hope that we can double the friends that we have today by next year. If we have more, great. If we have less, that's fine. And at the time that I wrote the goal, the calculated number is 754. That's the goal number. I cut it off for then. I'm not going to like adjust down to the last minute, but potentially I could. I'm not going to. All right, goal number 2 is I would like to, it just is baby number 3. We would like to have another baby this year and get pregnant at some point in time this year. We'll see when that happens. Maybe I'll even have the baby 2024. I don't know. I don't know what that'll look like. I don't know what is going to end up being God's plan for us there, but we are ready to welcome baby number 3, or at the very least in the form of a pregnancy this year. Quick comments, and to elaborate on that, please ask all the questions that you want about any of the goals. But for baby number 3, most people have asked me, like, will I do the birth center again? We now live like half the distance that we lived from our birth center previously, and I'm so excited because we can get there so fast. So yes, the goal, plan, idea, unless I have to have a home birth for whatever reason, will be the birth center. Will I have a midwife again? Absolutely. Even if I have to go to the hospital, whatever hospital I pick, I will choose a midwife if one is available. Unless, of course, there's a doctor that really aligns better, but I doubt that being the case. Can't say for sure, though. Another one with baby number 3 is, will I do birth photography again and videoing it? Yes, that was my most popular video for 2022, and it stayed one of my most popular videos throughout 2023. And I really do enjoy that. It made me feel so proud of myself, and it's just good stuff to look back on, stuff I wish I had with my first. So I will definitely be doing it again. Will I be posting it again? It'll depend what that content looks like when I'm able to film it, but the goal would be to, yes, film it again and put it out in a video, do a video talking about it, answering your questions, pregnancy update videos weekly, all of that stuff. I would love to do it all again. It's one of the parts that I enjoy a lot about being pregnant, besides being pregnant and nurturing a baby. I enjoy everything talking about and surrounding birth and babies and all of that kind of stuff. So leave anything that you're excited for in the comments. I want to be excited too. Goal number 3 is to wear my Fitbit 3 times a week on average. I have a Fitbit watch, and it makes me feel healthier, more motivated, just better. When I wear my watch, I feel more productive. And that's something that I feel like I can always strive to have. And if it's as simple as putting my watch on, I'm going to do it. But I'm going to hope to average that about 3 times a week. Number 4 is to move my horse home. I'm super nervous about this goal. Obviously, the dream is for that to be the case. And I know that I'll be able to give him a little more of my attention and time and all of that kind of stuff with him being here, because when my husband gets home, I can pop outside and go and brush and ride and do all that kind of stuff. I'm a little bit nervous just because of my past experiences with boarding and how not my current or all of my previous board owners have made me feel, but some of my board owners have made me feel just very incapable. And I know that I'm not. I know that that is not the case, and it was just the way things happened, the way things were presented to me, and just their inexperience that, did not, they were doing their best. I firmly believe they were trying to do their best and be their best, and that just didn't work out with my needs and what I needed, and that experience caused me anxiety and a lot of doubt on my abilities and experiences. So I am going to be working on rebuilding that so that when it comes time to be able to set up everything to bring our horses home, it'll be purely excitement. Obviously, there's a little bit of natural fear of like, oh no, what if I'm not good enough, or what if I don't do a good enough job? And that helps us to, keep pushing forward and be better. But generally, to just avoid, no, it's going to be great. It's going to be good. I'm going to be very comfortable and confident and willing to learn at every turn and absorb whatever information I can to be the best I can be. Nervous and excited for that one. Our goal number 5 is to query 25 literary agents. I really want to put my book out there. I think it's very quality. I think the writing is there. I think the storyline is there. I think that it has things that other books that I've encountered don't have. And I think that it offers something to an audience that is desired. And just in general, I think that the work has value. So I'm going to start treating it like it has value and actually go to the agents, to the people that can help me get this book published and out there to the rest of the world in a larger capacity than I can do myself. Because something I learned this year is that I am not meant to market. I do not belong in the marketing world. I can create the content, but I cannot market well. I'm not good at marketing anything, including myself sometimes. That's just not my strong suit. So for something like this book that I am super passionate about and do love greatly, I'm going to obviously be involved in it, but put it in the capable hands of someone who I know is good at it and does a good job. So I'm going to query at least 25 literary agents. I don't expect that I will end up with a book deal next year, but I am hopeful that it could happen, but it's not an expectation. The goal is just to put it out there at least 25 times to 25 different people and say, hey, I think my work has value, and I think that you can recognize that value and help me to get it to people who want to read it. If you are interested in my book at all, the link is down below for my website, which has all of my works on there and everything, as well as the shop that I own. So if you want to check that out, it's all down below. Next is to post 2 reels a month between Instagram and YouTube. So on YouTube, they're called shorts, but on Instagram, they're reels. So I'm just titling it as reels. I'm going to try and post at least 2 a month. I enjoy making reels, but sometimes short form content just bothers me. And I like still photos. I like that original inspiration for Instagram, but I do recognize the enjoyment and the beauty in the short term videos. So I'm going to try and keep putting out those. And if I do 2 a month, it's approximately a total of 24. I am going to try and stick to the timeline of 2 per month rather than... I'm going to try and stick to the timeline of 2 per month because it's really not that difficult. But if I get 24 reels and shorts out there, I will be pleased. Next is to pay off my car and medical debt. Both are slotted to be paid off in the middle of 2024 on our payment plan, but my goal is to not have any issues arise. None have arisen out of the car ever yet, so I hope that that doesn't change. But with the issues that we had last year with the medical, I just want to get it taken care of. And then if we do end up having a baby next year, I would like to, instead of like letting that go to a payment plan, pay that off either right away or prepay it. Would be really, really awesome if I could do that. That would be fantastic. But we'll see. So that's goal number 6. Goal number 7, or sorry, that was goal number 7. I apologize. Goal number 8 is to pay off half of my credit cards. So long story short on this one is that that's basically where the debt from our remodel comes from, and along with like putting in a laundry room or laundry closet and bathroom in our basement, which are things that we plan to do this year, which I'll get to. Basically, the little debt that we do have from remodeling, take care of at least half of that, which is on our credit card. So it was just easier to say it that way. It's basically what's going on. Number 9 is to write my English curriculum. I'm very excited for this, but nervous because as a work-related thing, I obviously want to put out the best work possible, and I am very passionate about education and very confident in my know-how and my knowledge, and I think that I can put out a good quality product. The only thing that I'm concerned with is that I feel like the curriculum that I intend to create is going to be more of a higher education level geared towards gifted learners. And I want to make it accessible to everyone and designed for everyone and all learners, in terms of you can put yourself on the learning line wherever you are, and you have the support and tools you need to get to where you need to go at the end. For example, the way that the curriculum will be set up, it will be pre-K through 12. Pre-K is more guided like activities, like once, like in a month format. In the month of September, focus on these things. Read at least this many books. Try to read daily. Try to do these activities. Kinds of things that nurture the growth and development of the desire to learn in children, and also gives them the foundational ability to, like, we learn to read by learning to listen to stories and all of that kind of stuff. And that doesn't include TV. So reading to your kids, we talk about how important it is, and it's still so important, and it will never not be important. And they will have better ability to read, write, and spell just from listening to us read. So things like that will be in like the pre-K curriculum, etc. But generally, you'll have access to pre-K through 12, and it will follow state guidelines for 2025 that are coming out. And if I get it all written and taken care of, all written and done by the summer of 2024, I'm hoping to launch it for the start of the 2024-2025 school year, which is when our new standards in Minnesota take place, or they go into effect. Minnesota has one of the highest standards for education. We also follow the most guidelines out of most of the states, not all, but most of the state guidelines. So it should work in any state that you're in. The goal will be to include everything needed for every state. So regardless of where you are, when you have to say to the government, yeah, my kid did all of this stuff, they can graduate. Or if you're trying to follow a school's guidelines of like they have to have these credits or what have you to graduate, you can say, yep, this is where my kid accomplished all of that. Wherever you are, it should work for you. That's the goal. Additionally, with the curriculum, you'll have access to all of the grades. So if your kid is reading at a 4th grade reading level, you can start them over the summer before you make the transition into homeschooling. You know, they come out of, say, 6th grade at a 4th grade reading level. Through the summer, you work on the enrichment activities for the 4th grade level. They'll be broken down. It'll show you after each lesson, there'll be an enrichment lesson. Especially in the areas where they're weak. So, for example, reading. Maybe their reading comprehension is low, maybe their spelling is low, maybe their attention to detail is low, whatever it is, their listening skills, and then you work on those enrichment activities. When you either accomplish them or feel that they're accomplished, you move on to the enrichment activities for the next grade level, so 5th grade. Say you get both of those completed by the time you start 6th grade, and then they can start in the 6th grade curriculum on the regular track. The idea is that you are setting up your child for a lifetime of success, and we are giving you the tools you need to do that. So you don't have to be fantastic at English to be able to go through and say, what do you need? All you need to say is, well, standardized testing says this is where you're at. Based on the standards, this is where we're going to put you. So this is the baseline you should have. If you don't, go back a grade. Once you find where your baseline is, build from there. And it all builds on itself and gets bigger and more complicated, but it's the same concepts. So once those core concepts are established, kids can kind of fly right through things. Anyhow, writing my curriculum is definitely on my goals for the year. I'll be happy, but ideally I'd love to get it done before August. Number 10 is adding a bathroom in the basement. This is going to be a huge one, but for my husband and I, it is a really big goal of ours. I think that we both know financially we'll be able to make it happen based on our projected incomes, bills, debt, etc. However, it is still terrifying because we really wanted to get it done last year. It was always in the plan, and it didn't happen. And so for that to have been the case and then have to make the adjustment, I think we're just kind of nervous that, like, well, what if we can't? And you never know what's going to hit you financially. So we're just happy with what we have, but would really like, that's a goal, one of those lofty goals for us. Number 11 is the monthly out of a house date night. So we have been working on reinstilling our weekly date nights and pushing that to also going out at least once a month together in the new year is definitely going to be a goal of ours, whether or not we're spending money, but just to get out of the house. We've started to put in a date night weekly, which has been really great. So very excited for that. Number 12 is, it's a goal for me personally to bring in at least $7,200 for income. It's a very specific number, I know. Between anything that I'm doing, that is my minimum goal. There, I am going to apply, I should say, for a position out of the house, and depending upon the salary that it has, there's certain like thresholds that Gregory and I, like basically minimums that I have to make and ways that the job has to work, etc., for me to be willing to take it. It would actually allow me to spend more time with my husband, but less time with my kids. And I enjoy being a stay-at-home mom, but what I've also come to realize throughout the holiday season is that I need the crazy like holiday parties and busyness with people and talking to adults and all of that kind of stuff to function properly. Unfortunately, I am so extroverted that being with kids all day, even when my husband comes home, that's not enough social interaction for what my brain needs to operate at the optimal capacity. I find when I do more, I do better and I do more for myself when we have more commitments. And yeah, sometimes I need a break, and what I really need to learn is the balance. But anyway, as far as the income thing goes, whether or not I go into a career path, or if it's just weddings, or if it's selling the curriculum, or I am going to be putting out a couple of other guidebooks, I hope, in the next year, whether it's my shop, which is down below if you want to help contribute to the goal. We do have some really awesome stuff in there. That's my personal goal for the year. 12 is to start my monthly Bible study. It's going to be a ladies' Bible study. Specifically, I want to start it in my church just to allow growth in keeping with my faith guidelines. I also made a promise to myself and to God this past year when I did some directing with theater, that if I ended up directing the musical that I directed, I would also start a ladies' Bible study in the new year. And so I'm going to do that. Number 14 is to finish my edits for Just Your Typical Super Spy. I did not get through half of them. But since I'm querying and everything like that, I want to get it done. Especially if I am offered a book deal, to be able to publish it before like the holidays and everything, I would absolutely cry. It would be amazing, insane, but definitely worth putting in the effort. So regardless though of whether or not I have a book deal, I do want to get it pretty much edited so that I can have a product that an outcome that I'm happy to put out, even if I don't end up hearing anything from the literary agents, so I can self-publish for the time being and say, hey, here we go. Here it is. Number 15, and my final goal for the year, is to finish my catechism in a year. I did start it in the previous year, so there are some leeway days if I forget or just am not good with the habit or sick or whatever it is. But I'm very excited to do my catechism in the year. Those are my 2024 goals, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell down below. I would love for you to join our family and see how this goes. If you have questions, thoughts, or any ideas on things that you would like to see, please put them down below in the comments, and we will see you in the new year. Happy 2023, everybody.
Love, Genevieve.